This video is sponsored by Gamesplanet.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
My boy.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
Well, my boy, I'm sure Ganon is gaming his heart out using the amazing service of Gamesplanet. What is that, you ask? Well, Gamesplanet is an official distributor of the industry's biggest publishers and their biggest PC games. From Bandai Namco, Sega, PlayStation, Capcom, if you want to play all the latest and greatest that PC gaming has to offer, then Gamesplanet is the perfect choice for you and your friends. The best part about it, other than saving a crap ton of money on these great deals, is the fact that each official key you purchase from Gamesplanet can be refunded at any time with no trouble at all, should there happen to be an issue or problem with the game you have purchased. That's super awesome! So long as your game doesn't end up being like Big Rig's, you are winner, then you're totally set. So if you like the game seen here in this video, you can purchase it using my affiliate link down below in the description and use the promo code provided to get an awesome discount on your purchase. Pretty good, right? Right? Guys! Thank you. So what are you waiting for? Come check out Gamesplanet today and proclaim to the world, after all your saved money, that
I won!
No, definitely not.
Hello once again, my chickadees. Game Chick is back again with another review. Before we get started, I would like to give a very big thank you to WB Game for providing me with a review copy to make this review possible. Thank you very much. So now with that having been said, let's go! Hogwarts Legacy is an open-world adventure game that is developed by Avalanche Software and published by WB Games. Having been in development for seemingly like a decade now from the long wait and all the small leaks, Avalanche Software aims to give fans the Wizarding World Harry Potter experience that they've always wanted. But did they succeed in casting a spell over us all? Or are they just filthy mudbloods who don't live up to the hype? Only one way to find out, so let's go! Story. As a new student starting at Hogwarts in the 5th year, the Ministry of Magic provides the 5th year student with a wizard field guide to help them get up to speed as they learn to harness their secret ancient magic that holds the key to saving the wizarding world from a dark magic that aims to tear the world of wizards apart. Gameplay. Oh boy, where do I even begin with this beast of a game? And yes, that's exactly what it is, a beast of the game in both structure and size. Growing up as a Harry Potter fan, with the books and the movies, I and many others have always wanted a game that offers the true look and feel of the essence that is Harry Potter. We wanted magic, adventure, friendship, whimsical atmosphere, great characters, and even wanting to feel like a full-fledged wizard ourselves by utilizing spells we've all been dreaming to use since we saw the movies. However, we had a bit of a wait as Hogwarts Legacy has been met with delay after initially starting development back in 2018. But now here we are in 2023 with the game finally out, and does it meet the expectations that I laid out about it? Yes and no. Some areas, it excels at immersing you in this large open-world wizard land, while others can possibly leave a bitter taste in your mouth, like a bad batch of candy from Bertie Bott's flavored jelly beans. Yuck! Luckily, we do not meet the same fate as Dumbledore when he ended up eating earwax, so bullet dodged at least there, right? As you start your game, you learn that you're a young student on their way to Hogwarts as a 5th year, something that's extremely rare and that gains the watchful eye of your mentor, Professor Fig, who is in charge of getting you to school safely. But this journey does not go as planned, as during this initial run to Hogwarts, you learn about a goblin uprising with an evil leader named Ranrock, and take an awesome ride on a rail train alongside Professor Fig and the Goblin Bank to find a specific vault that holds the key to unlocking a mystery that Fig wants to get to the bottom of. Begin noticing the reason why you were chosen as a 5th year student to attend Hogwarts, as you begin noticing objects around the world glowing bright blue with a strange dark magic, and it leaves you as a player gasping with shock that, holy crap, It finally happened! The chosen one is here! We finally found the one person who can finally see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch! Simply inspirational. Okay, that might not be the case, but it's still an ancient magic nonetheless. However, just as you and Professor Fig get ready to leave, trouble strikes, and that poop brain Ranrock shows its ugly face and threatens to kill you. You're so lucky I don't know about a cadaver yet, or this would be a non-issue. I don't play.
Little Chicky, the one who lived, has come to die.
But as luck would have it, just as he's about to attack, a giant golem shows up and attacks. Professor Fig and the student, not wanting any part of it, say screw this and run away and make their way safely to Hogwarts. Back at Hogwarts, you're still at the introduction of the game bit. Yeah, sure, during the opening segment you can use your wand a fair bit, but wand play really doesn't open up till the initial cutscenes and introductions are in order, which can either be taken as something really annoying or as a treat. I, however, found it a treat because I loved getting to know some of these characters, and some, well, not so much, which you will hear me get into in a bit. Once situated, you get to answer a bunch of questions with the sorting hat to determine which house you will be placed into. Which, of course, you already know what house I chose, right? I mean, my previous review should give that away pretty quickly. Slytherin, baby, oh yeah! Heck, my character's last name is even Malfoy, so you already knew it was happening no matter what. Remember when Draco was a little turd head in the movies? I'm the woman he got it from. You're welcome. Finally getting your first night's sleep after a run-in with a large dragon on the way to Hogwarts, confrontation with giant golems and goblins, you wake up after your short but well-earned sleep at Hogwarts and realize, wait a second, everyone ditched you and went to Wizard IHOP without you. What the freaking heck, guys? Those stupid mudbloods. Alright, going to ditch me, huh? Fine, I'll just destroy everything you own. Apologies, moving on. It is here finally where you get to truly start appreciating the magic of this game and fangirl out like I did initially. For the first time in the game, without being stuck on a specific path, you're able to explore Hogwarts to your heart's content. Yup, that's right, no limits. Well, other than locked doors here and there that require spell upgrades of Alohomora, but you don't have that luxury till later in the game. Being able to explore the common room of Slytherin, run through the grand hall where Dumbledore cheated to give Harry Potter freebie points to fix the House Cup winner like a frickin' chump, meet fellow Slytherin housemates like Sebastian, who is reading textbooks to learn spells that are a pathway to abilities some would consider unnatural. Wait, never mind, that's the wrong lore. He's basically a dark arts user. What a naughty boy. I like him. You also meet Imelda, who, this egotistical piece of mudblood trash. Oh, she's just opinionated and confident. No, she's full of herself and one of those, I'm so good, please tell me I'm good types. Just wait till I learn more dark arts. You're either going to be killed by me or I'll use transfiguration to turn you into an animal. Oh, just you wait. Besides that idiot, you also meet a blind kid named Omnis, who is actually pretty nice, and much like characters like Sebastian, will play a pivotal role in a string of side quests that, in my opinion, its story rivals even that of the main campaign story itself. Oh yeah, it's super good. Plus, it's where you get to learn all the curse spells like Avada Kedavra and Imperio, so if you want to be evil, you definitely have to do that story beat. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, sorta. So, story, meeting characters, that's nice and all, but while exploring this amazing castle, large open fields outside the castle, the town of Hogsmeade, dark and mysterious forbidden forest inhabited by centaurs, besides those immediate things, what do you actually do in the game? Well, quite a damn bit. Like, seriously, there's so much stacked into this game that at times it can feel a bit overwhelming. Walking through Hogwarts Castle, you're going to have to get used to one constant thing, and that one thing will stay stuck in your head as much as press X to Jason or Leon help! What am I talking about? Good old Revelio.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Early on in this game, you will know basic spells such as Lumos, that lights your way in dark areas or reveals secrets hidden in paintings, that shows you a location of a butterfly to complete a challenge, Reparo, that is used to repair bridges and other hazardous areas to let you get across them, and then there's Revelio. the spell that reveals collectible items in the area or interactive items that are highlighted in yellow and blue, and field guides that give you lore and history behind Hogwarts, which can be found across the world as you explore as well. But why would this get stuck in your head? Because in order to see every locked door, every collectible, every potential puzzle opportunity, you must constantly spam it wherever you go. It gets to the point where you fancy yourself the next Jan Brady, only instead of crying out about Marcia, 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 it's about Revelio. It can be a tad bit annoying, sure, but it's hugely needed for treasure chests with new gear and collectible items as you continue exploration. Speaking of exploration, I want to get back into that topic before moving on to the core of the gameplay, which is the combat and further wand use, because it's deeper than one would think. Not as deep as Hagrid's endless supply of rare and illegal animals to own, but still, it's pretty close. After obtaining your wizard field guide from Professor Weasley, you will now be able to track all of your progress as a 5th-year student. As mentioned earlier, this includes finding other field guides that will give you lore about the world using Revelio, as well as unlock challenges, inventory, spells, combat challenges, and much more in order to obtain further EXP outside of combat to raise your wizard level. I stated at the opener of this review that we have been waiting to get a game that has a look and feel of the Harry Potter series and movies, and aesthetically with the graphics, art style, and music, this game completely nails every single detail one could ask for. Walking around Hogwarts Castle for the first time and seeing the paintings talk and play music, knight armor move, shifting staircases, exploring the bathrooms where Harry and friends knocked out a troll using Leviosa, it's pretty awesome. You can even check the stalls and flush the toilets, so that's a funny thing to do. And, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't know there was someone in there. I'm sorry! I ask you guys to forget you ever saw that. But back on topic, after you've explored Hogwarts a bit to check out the Dark Arts classroom, Greenery Room, where you can pull up annoying and cute screaming mandrakes that you can use in battle to stun enemies. Learn about an underground fight club for duels. Yes, that's not a joke, I'm serious. And explore nearly everything it has to offer. You now have to actually play the dang game and advance the story and test out its combat.
Oh, man!
Taking your first few missions and heading outside Hogwarts, you're finally introduced to this grand and broadened world as you look to get supplies in the neighboring town of Hogsmeade. This saddened me a bit, as I would have preferred to throw some dust down and yell, "Diagon Alley!" like Harry Potter, only, knowing my luck, much like him, I'd end up in the wrong area. I'd end up somewhere equally or even more stupid. Walking around this world, which covers 4 seasons over the year and a night and day cycle in real time, you get to see wild animals roaming around the lands, vendors and shops, other civilians doing their own thing, and even little kitty cats. Aw, hey kitty kitty! How are you, little guy? You're so cute! Levioso! Fly, kitty! Fly! Run! Anyways, during your little free roaming around, which you'll be able to do much easier the further you progress when you unlock fast travel via flame statues, broom riding that allows you to equip different styled brooms to ride and unlock 3 upgrades for them via side quests that furthers their speed and controllability, mounts to ride on for the ground, or even buckwheat like griffins. During those things, you will be able to take on wolves, spiders, dark wizards, poachers, goblins, and even giant trolls. This is where you're going to have to learn to protect yourself. During your fighting, you will learn the basics such as using B to dodge roll, and when upgraded later on, holding B will allow you to sonic spin dash away from opponents. Use right trigger to use your wand like a gun by pressing it 4 consecutive times to either hit an enemy with a combination attack or mine materials for later use. Pressing Y to use your Protego spell to enact a force field around you to block wizard attacks and melee attacks from other enemies, and if timed right, will send an attack of Stupefy back to your enemy to damage or stun them. Assign new attacks to your hotbars that you unlock with skill points as you level up. That includes stuff like Incendio to send a fireball at opponents, Accio to pull your opponents towards you or pull objects in your environment for puzzle solving, Levioso to lift people into the air, Expelliarmus to disarm enemies with wands or swords, and when used in conjunction with right button, will allow you to grab an item mid-air that you just disarmed the enemy from and throw it right back at them in one smooth motion. It's freaking awesome! The combat in this game is extremely fast-moving and fluid to the point that if you time all your Protego correctly, utilize your skills to the fullest, like a Levioso to raise an enemy, then Accio to pull them to you, then hit them with an Incendio, and as they fly away, hit them mid-air with Defendo to send a magical slicing attack for big damage at them. If there's one thing that doesn't get boring easily, it's the combat. Well, at least if you're doing it right and not blowing yourself up like Seamus Finnegan did multiple times, trying to turn his drink into rum, or raising a feather with Wingardium Leviosa. Poor dude.
God Leviosa.
Well done, dear.
Moving back along to the story, you finally arrive at Hogsmeade, and man is this place awesome. And luckily, no cats to be found.
NANI?!
Here you're able to explore shops like Ollivander's that allows you to get your first wand and even customize it to size, shape, color, and wood material. Broom shop to purchase new brooms for aesthetic purposes only, as they all work on the same upgrade system. Head back to Hogwarts with Professor Fig as he discovers a map to lead us to a mystery in the restricted section of the library where you utilize disillusionment to go invisible and stealth. Gain new assignments from teachers that will teach you new spells like Reparo and Transfiguration, which can turn your enemies into exploding barrels or chickens. Pop balloons in a toy shop to be a jerk because, beep beep, Britchie. Defend Hogsmeade from a gigantic troll that is summoned by the evil goblin Ranrock. Fight on the shores of Hogwarts against lizards, and see the giant Kraken octopus show up right next to you and be like, holy crap, as you stare in both amazement and sadness, knowing that he got cut from the movie Prisoner of Azkaban. Come on now. I thought it was equal rights in Hollywood. These octopuses deserve their time to shine too. Well, in movies that don't involve a mutation in a sci-fi movie like Sharktopus. Hollywood, be better. Do better. As you can tell, there is a ton of layers to this game. From side quests hidden behind secret trials made by the legendary wizard Merlin, exploring towns like Queensbridge that look gorgeous in the countryside, lighting lanterns in specific order for underground puzzles, get nostalgic as you encounter the black vine fungus that tried to kill Ron in the movies, which you can keep at bay with Lumos since they hate sunlight, be a complete ass to enemy goblins while you explore Pitford, lift up goblins 30 feet in the air and let them drop to their deaths, finding flying Daedalin keys by listening for them and then following them to a location of a chest, and then smack them into it like you're spanking a booty in order to obtain a collectible of a house token. Super messed up, but at least, like yourself, won't get left with a big red handprint afterwards. Unless you like that sort of thing, you silly little freak. But to be fair to you, you still wouldn't be as freaky as Alistair Moody, so at least that's a good thing. Feeling a bit overwhelmed so far? Yeah, me too. But would you believe that we're still not even close to being done? Oh man. Notice one thing I haven't really talked about in depth yet, and that's the upgrades and side quests you're able to partake in. Well, I could speak about them right here and now and talk about a quest about a girl being bullied and you have to retrieve her items back from high places that people used magic to place there, find a girl's books that she accidentally enchanted and they flew away like a bird, helping a girl's brother who turned his own feet into beads due to a curse, which is actually pretty funny. Those are all great and all, but those, alongside the main story narrative of you and Professor Fig, learning more about Ranrock's plan to destroy the Wizarding World using ancient magic only usable by a select few like yourself, partaking in 4 ancient trials to unlock your own hidden power and learn the dark history of the world as you take part in puzzles, pulling objects, using portal gates to look into another realm, stealth through a world that looks like the game Mad World, help a friend named Sebastian as he tries to cure his sister from an unbreakable curse in what is the most emotional and relatable stories related to side quests in the game. Yes, maybe even more so than the actual main campaign story. It has a struggle of a brother who will do anything at any cost to save his sister, even if it means hurting his friends, killing others, and giving himself fully to the dark arts using forbidden spells. I absolutely love this story arc, and for the sake of you, the viewer, I won't spoil it because you need to experience the twists and turns for yourself. But again, besides all that jazz and side quests, the real reason for this game existing? For you to be a total jerk, of course. You think I would miss the chance to be the Wizarding World's biggest a-hole known to man? No dang way. During my playthrough, I was lifting cats with Levioso and launching them around, using Accio to knock a dude off his broom while he was trying to get on it, using my knapsack to catch animals for my animal sanctuary, and using my powers for evil as I get asked to retrieve people's pets, only to tell them, nah, they're mine now, and keeping them for my own. Get asked to dive into a river by a girl who is trying to form a peace treaty between mermaids and wizards, and she tells me there's a gift in a cave for her that she needs to take to the council to start a peace treaty. No problem, I got you, I love peace. So I do as she asks, swim down below, grab it, come back, and yeah, no, I'm the one that swam in the dirty lake, and this artifact is pretty cool. I'm going to take it for myself, thanks. Much like the aliens in Independence Day, there shall be no peace. That's right, no peace. Yeah, I know, I'm a freaking menace. But that still doesn't even count the time I was instructed to find a painting that got stolen and bring it back to the Hogsmeade bar. Apparently, it was stolen and moved because he was found to be too annoying and talked too much. So, upon finding him, after getting lost for like freaking 20 minutes after slaying some wizards, he proceeds to give me attitude and talk mad shit against me. Hold up. I'm the one rescuing you. I'll burn your butt to the ground without hesitation. But he had to go and do it. This idiot said, I'd like to see you try. Well, you sealed your own fate, bro. And then I proceeded to burn him alive inside his painting. Hey, I wasn't going to do it, as I had no incendio to do it before he talked crap. Okay, that pun was bad, but he was accuing for it. I swear that's the last one. Other than being the world's biggest jerk, exploring the castle of Hogwarts, visiting neighboring towns of Hogsmeade and other small villages known as hamlets, the bulk of the gameplay is spent in the overworld. Whether you're walking or flying, this overworld contains roughly 75% of the game's content. From it being dungeons, Merlin trials to get extra gear slots, ancient magic trials to raise your magic meter for ancient magic finishers that act as a finishing move, with right buttons plus left buttons to summon lightning against your foes, lift them and slam them over and over into the ground with a pound in brutal fashion, and even completely disintegrate your opponent with a dark magic explosion. I'll cover all of this in my extra stuff section, but for now, we need to switch focus on how you actually get to these areas, things you'll do in between that time period, flying and other upgrades you obtain along the way, as we push to wrapping up all that this game has to offer you as the player, and how much time this game will suck out of your life with a storyline that can take 25 to 30 hours to complete, and side content that can boost that playtime to 70 hours plus, depending on how much you do, unlock, and see. Me, for instance, I finished the game in about 76 hours. Got the true ending of the game by achieving level 34, learned Avada Kedavra, which is extremely overpowered and one-shot kills enemies. I nearly did it all. Much like Korn, I too felt like a freak on a leash, only in witch form. Unlocking flying via brooms is an absolute treat. It feels superb and controls amazing. My first time getting on a broom and being able to zoom across the world, around the castle, seeing all the scenery, going near the water, flying near towns and forests, I was like,
now this is pod racing.
Wait, what? No, go away, Anakin. Go back to your own dead franchise. Leave this one alone. As I was saying, the flying in this game is freaking amazing and totally catches the magic and whimsical essence of Harry Potter. Using R2 to move forward, L2 for a boost of speed, right stick to move up and down, it just feels very smooth and responsive, but a little bit wobbly at first. Why is this? Well, that's because in order to have a smoother experience and fly faster, you need to take part in a series of mini-games that have you race against a stupid, dumb, freaking annoying a-hole of a girl Imelda who thinks she's better than everyone. I hate this girl, so I made it my mission to make it personal and beat her. Usually I'm terrible in games that have me operate a vehicle, but I do this for you, Draco and Snape, to put this student in her place and claim my supremacy of Slytherin. I was in the zone, flying with my broom, hitting speed bubbles to boost my time, and then flying through a designated amount of rings. I was like Wizard Superman 64. I nailed it in all of her challenges, beat her best times, humbled her dumb face, and got all 3 of my broom upgrades from a shop in Hogsmeade. He who shall not be named? More like she who shall not be beaten, right? You snob pile of fungus. Annoyances like her aside, flying around during seasonal changes are also a great thing as you see greenery change and it go from summer to fall with dried leaves and decorations littered in Halloween spirit, switching to winter with the land covered in snow. It's all beautiful and makes you feel immersed in an ever-changing world as you continue to finish up your first year at Hogwarts. A year that has even more going on than the entire series of Harry Potter himself, with my character being just like me and making really bad bone puns with Sebastian as they investigate a catacomb tomb.
Leave no stone unturned, or, in this case, no bone.
I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice.
Fight against a gigantic enemy Graphorn, and being able to ride him as a mount, watch kids fly around as you stand in the highest towers of Hogwarts School, explore the map to unlock fast travels, bandit camps, dragons, dungeons, and other trials, explore underground dungeons, and use abilities to raise platforms for easier traversal, learn that Rockwood, a wizard, is working with Ranrock, witness the starting of a potential wizard war in a wizard-like adventure sequence that had me saying, "This is brilliant!" But then remembering I'm not British. Discovering the secret behind Isadora, who is a woman who once had the same powers as you, but had turned to the dark arts too much and betrayed the 4 auras that you were working with in secret, etc. There's just so many amazing things to do in just the main game that it will floor you. However, it opens up even further post-game too. Extra stuff. When you think you're done, you aren't anywhere close to being done. You still have many things to do, such as Room of Requirement, obtaining all spells, finishing your massive field guide that has challenges for combat, quest, explorations, dueling wizard tournaments, Merlin quests, battle trials, beast training, and rescuing beasts from poachers. Oh yeah, there's a ton, but we'll start from the top to make it easy. Room of Requirement is basically your Animal Crossing mode, which was a big no-no for me since I spent like an hour inside this room decorating it, arranging furniture, changing the patterns on the walls and floors. It's freaking addicting, and its customization is insane by letting you control even the ambiance of the lighting and ceiling too. The further you progress in your main story and side quests, you'll be able to speak with House Elf Deke, who will give you tasks to train and raise beasts of your own in your very own animal sanctuary that gets added to the Room of Requirement, such as little baby beasts that look like Chocobo, or even larger ones you catch out in the wild using your knapsack ability by sneaking up on them and pressing X to try to stuff them in the bag. They run away though, so it's best to use something like Arresto Momentum on them to freeze them before interacting with them in order to have the highest chance of capturing them. Once they're caught, you may take them back to one of your 3 unlockable sanctuaries to release them, feed them, groom them, and create their very own habitat by making stalls and breeding them. Like, holy crap, what in the freaking heck? What can't you do in this game? Other than reunite Norbert with his buddy Hagrid.
Well, you have to be trained up a bit, of course.
Dueling Wizard tournaments are also an event where you can go 1-on-1 or 3-on-1 against other wizards in a tournament against other students to see who is the best dueler at the school. Only, it's supposed to be secret, but everyone knows about it. Tyler Durden would be livid to know that someone talked about Wizard Fight Club. Y'all would be in for it. Other ventures besides these things that you can take part in is flying across the world and popping balloons, taking part in Merlin Trials, which has to throw leaves down to take part in puzzles that range from blowing up pots and pillars with Bombarda or bringing butterflies to their correct places, rolling boulders to proper placement holes, take part in dark art or regular battle endurances that have you battle wave after wave of enemies to test just how good you become at the game, collect all the items in the game, in which there are hundreds upon hundreds, whether they be in chests, sacks, or rewards from quests themselves, upgrade your Alohomora spells to unlock harder doors by searching for demon statues at night, complete all relationship quests with other students, which are a series of storyline-themed quests that allow you to grow your relationship with another student, such as Sebastian and his struggle to save his sister, another student Poppy, where you have to team up with her to save her friend Highwing and befriend dragons after saving them from poachers, discover evils that lead your friend's father to his death as you investigate dangerous places like bandit camps and the Forbidden Forest as you gain help from centaurs. And the list goes on and on. With hundreds of field guides to find hidden around the world, hundreds of quests, hundreds of challenges and collectibles, there is no way you won't hit the 70 to 80 hour mark with all this extra content. But, it's that time. We've gotta lay into the game a bit. While I could fangirl out more, we got to be fair and non-biased for the most part and critique this title because it definitely is nowhere near perfect, especially on PC and Steam Deck. Dislikes. Obviously, for all the good this game does, it also does some very bad things or smaller things that grinded my gears a little bit during my long playthrough. One of my first gripes has to do with both the lack of co-op and the complete lack of online functionality in general. With the way the game is structured, with the main story beats taking place via cutscenes, I feel you could have done an open world setting similar to the way Pokemon Scarlet and Violet does with its drop-in co-op gameplay, where people can play the story individually off each other, while still interacting with their friend and the world itself. Quidditch and wizard dueling for online multiplayer could have been a really amazing addition too, as flying in this game feels comfortable, controllable, and easy to use. And on the flip side of that, in the main game side missions themselves, you already have 2-on-2, 3-on-1, and 1-on-1 wizard battles. So if you set up a matchmaking system to battle friends or random people online, it could have been extremely fun to play against people online. Avalanche Software, you robbed me of being able to recreate Harry and Draco's standoff and tell people, "Scared Potter," and see if anyone would answer back with, "You wish!" Shame, shame. On the performance side, there's several issues with the PC version, which in my case was played on Steam Deck. From time to time during battles, scene transitions, or certain areas where there's a lot going on, the game will see a stutter and FPS drop. Now, it doesn't affect the overall gameplay for certain drops, but it's definitely felt and even seen. But in the most extreme cases that happened to me towards the middle half of the game, I saw a few screen freezes that would freeze the game screen up entirely for a good 5 to 6 seconds before adjusting itself and letting you continue on normally. Next gripe has to do with the early game combat. For the first 10 levels or so, you really only have your basic wand attack and 1 or 2 other spells, so if you take on a lot of combat right away, you will tend to get bored or find it very tedious. My suggestion to get around this is to do missions around the castle with collectibles, explore and unlock parts of the world for faster EXP so that you level up quicker to unlock more spells to block out the more tedious nature that early combat tends to be. Last minor gripe for me is, while the story to me is very good, it doesn't let you do what I had hoped it would. meaning you can learn unforgivable curses, be a jerk to students and steal their stuff, make bad decisions, but still end up as a good guy. Lack of morality system is a definite bummer, and I wish it had one similar to Fable, where each good and bad action would affect how the world sees you. But alas, it's not to be had. Hopefully one is here if this game gets a sequel. Overall, at the end of the day, Hogwarts Legacy ended up as a fantastic experience. Sure, it's definitely not perfect, with early combat getting tedious until you can unlock better spells and abilities, performance issues and audio mess-ups here and there, a few FPS drops, and screen freezes, lack of any online functionality whatsoever for Quidditch, dueling, or exploration. However, I feel it more than makes up for it with its straight-to-the-heart feel that puts it directly in line with why people love this franchise so much. The iconic music, the feeling of being immersed in this world most of us grew up with and have always fantasized about being a part of, and truly exploring for ourselves. From the innards of Hogwarts Castle itself, trying to find iconic locations from the movies, spotting the giant octopus outside school grounds, watching how seasons change and seeing how it affects the landscape, using all spells at our disposal to become the ultimate wizard or witch that we've always wanted to be, great characters who are relatable and well written that makes you want to protect them as friends or destroy them as enemies, the abundance of content to complete, there's just so much here that I can't see any Harry Potter fan not saying, "This is some magical ass." Yeah, I went there. Or did I? As a Harry Potter fan of this world and setting, I adored my time. And if anyone is a fan of this franchise, or even curious about it, then I'd have no problem with recommending it to people, even through a rental. It's a must-play, and early in 2023, it's currently my favorite game of the year, which could change obviously due to Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, Zelda, tons of great stuff on the way, but we'll see. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says,
"You're a wizard, Harry."
Hey, no, go away, Hagrid. This is my verdict. As I was saying, Game & Chick says, buy now. Hey everyone, thanks for watching.
Greetings, everyone. This is your Dark Lord, Voldemort. Thank you for watching the review of one of my star pupils and faithful followers. Before you leave your stained and rotten Muggle life, please like, share and subscribe to the Slytherin legend, Game & Chick. Should you not follow your Dark Lord's orders, we do have ways of dealing with traitors. Will I simply make you subscribe with a cast of Imperial? Or wipe your mudblood existence from the land of the living with Avada Kedavra? You decide.